Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I self-lord and master Islam. All honors and respects to the Most High, the creator of the universe. All honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, who founded the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1928 to teach those fallen Moors to be themselves and to assist in the upliftment of fallen humanity. I'm Prince Jonathan L. I'm Doctor of Oriental Medicine, licensed massage therapist, and special Moorish emissary and divine minister. The following that is not legal advice, it is not medical advice, it is not financial advice. If you need that type of advice, I strongly encourage you to seek those specialists out at your earliest convenience. I'm out here in Al-Andalusia. I'm also the head minister of the Moorish Temple of Light. And once again, out here in Al-Andalusia, Miami, Florida, right now specifically in the trenches, Coconut Grove, all right, where a lot of disparity happens amongst the community. So, but in any case, you know, in regards to that disparity, and these types of injustices occur all across the country, all across the world. But, you know, if you cannot fix your own house, you cannot tell your neighbor to fix their house. You understand? So, the following, someone asked me a question. They requested that I, you know, research some tools or some laws that pertain to how to basically seek justice, remedy, and relief for our fallen Moors who are still waking up, you know, who don't know that they're Moors. They've been branded as Negroes, blacks, and coloreds. Now, if you haven't had an opportunity to check out my previous YouTube videos on just who the real white people are, I strongly suggest that you watch those two videos before you watch this video. And after you watch those two videos, I strongly suggest that you watch the video on colorable law, because in order for you to understand the following concepts that I'm going to present to you, you're going to need to be in your right frame of mind, okay? So, big ups to all my G's, you know, all the guys and goddesses. Yo, we on some spiritual gangster stuff right now, so let's get real gangster. I'm going to recommend some books that you take into consideration for those who've never, a day in their existence, touched a legal book. Let's make this very easy. Nolo's Encyclopedia to Everyday Law. It's an excellent book. They got matters in this book from like buying houses and cars, dealing with banks, disputing credit issues, and down to like marriages, divorce, and child support, and ways that you can mediate your own issues, all right? And also how to represent yourself in court the proper way, okay? That's pro se litigation, okay? So if you need assistance with some pro se litigation from someone who also represents themselves in the real courtroom, because that's what it is. The real courtroom is the paper. It's not the actual room. That's just for the entertainment. That's just for educational, informational, entertainment purposes only, as this video is. This is only for educational, information, mildly entertaining purposes only, but I'm not really a good entertainer, so let's just see what else happens, okay? So once again, this book, excellent for trying to understand, you know, not trying to understand, but getting a summarization, a synopsis of how to do everything you need to do on a law, on the level of the law, okay? Because under the law, all are equal. That's one of the maxims of law, okay? For those who are Moors, I strongly suggest, or you believe yourself to be a Moor, you waking up to being a Moor, or you starting to like question just what is a Moor and who the Moors are, and who the real American natives are, check out this book, okay? Moorish and Moorish Treatise, okay? Now, I just want to read something real quick. I'm going to read two things out of this book, and then I'm going to get into it. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. So basically, all treaties that were in existence or would be created were held as valid, and also as one of the highest forms of law. So for Moors, the Morocco-America Treaty of Peace and Friendship is your highest body of law, okay? Which is to be followed by your Zodiac Constitution by C.M. Bay. You're also going to want to check out that book. It is on file in the Library of Congress. And you're also going to want to look into your holy Quran, the Circle 7, divinely prepared by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because for ecclesiastical law purposes, if you need to swear in on something or affirm on something, it should be your own holy book, all right? And then, finally, you should also be interested or in researching Title 18, all right? Chapter 13, Part 1, subsections 241, 242, what else do I have over here? 243, 247, 248, and hold up, 249. Yep, and that's where we at. All right. So, and I'm going to give you a brief review of these things, but I'm going to give you that brief review from the perspective of something that is called a commercial lien. Now, I am not suggesting or recommending anyone perform these things, but something to take into consideration. At least research what a commercial lien is, because it is stronger and more effective than a class action lawsuit. And it does not deal with the probate, which means that it escapes the court system that may be colorable court systems, all right? So like if we want to really get some justice, you go ahead, you follow. This is what I would consider doing had I been offended or anybody in my family been shot down or assaulted or accosted. All right. First steps is one, get the information of the offender. Okay, that means their name, their badge number, and their and when I say name, I mean their first and last name and middle initial, if you can get it. All right, and their badge number. Second, I would draft up a complaint letter, right, and I would send my complaint not to the department or the police department because they're already the authorizing licensing bureau that's granting those offenders against my rights, right? Their permission. That's who's giving them the permission. But they are workers, and so if they're workers, they are laborers, and so the proper place for you to consider filing your complaint would be with the Department of Labor because you may feel that you were discriminated against. Now, remember I talked to you about the colorable law. A lot of you are under the impression that you're Negroes, blacks, and colors, but you are the real white people. So you need to go ahead and state that they identified you wrongly as a black male or female when you are truly in your proper place, proper impropriate persona, that being a white indigenous being. Okay, the real whites are the indigenous people. Okay, they're not Aryan, they're not Caucasian, they're the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. Okay, and so based on Title 18, 241, all right, if two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in a free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same, or if two or more persons go in disguise on the highway or on the premises of another with intent to prevent or hinder his free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege so secured, they shall be fined an amount close to $10,000, not over $10,000. They shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. And if death results from the acts committed in violation of this section, if such acts include kidnapping or an attempt to kidnap, aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to commit aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to kill, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any term of years, for life, or both, or may be sentenced to death. 18 U.S. Code 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. All right, now that's just going to reiterate the same thing that section 241 was stating, which was the conspiracy conspiracy to deprive, conspiracy under the authority of color of law. There we go. All right, so deprivation of rights under color of law, it states everything that 241 just stated, but they've actually gone the route of depriving you. So before, like when they engaged you, they suspected you of committing a crime. Okay, so that's conspiracy. They're conspiring. All right, they deprive you when they finally engage you because they're detaining you. So they've deprived you of your right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. They've deprived you of life because they're armed. And they use those weapons that they're carrying as forms of intimidation to get you and I to agree to whatever it is that they say. So I simply say comply. Your battle is not to fight with them right then and there, okay? This is for like when you're in the immediate interaction with those policy enforcers, okay? But when they deprive you of your rights, you're in 242. When they exclude you, when they deprive you of your federal benefits, that's subsection 248, all right? If you're a Moor and you're rocking your fez or your tarbouche, or your turban, and then you're in your spiritual person at all times. You're in alignment with Allah. If you're a Hebrew, then you're in alignment with Yeshua Allah. You're in alignment with the God Yahweh. All right. So you need to make sure that you can be identified in the public very easily on what your spirituality or where you may originate from. Okay. So because they're gonna identify you based on your physical appearance. Remember I talked about the Social Security Administration 5 form, right, which states that if to engage in the selection of race or ethnicity is a voluntary thing, but if you choose not to answer the question, they will identify you on other means, which means by visual, and what the social classifications are for people who look like you. All right, so just because you look like a black male doesn't mean you are a black male. When you truly understand who you are, you understand that you are white because you are pure, because you are indigenous and aboriginal to the land, created by the Father or the God, or the Mother. Honor thy father and thy mother, so that thy days may be long upon this earth land that thy Father God Allah has given thee. right? So that's that divinity right there. But see, that's the reason why Moors deal with the divine and national aspects of things, because if you don't know how to, enforce these things, and they continue to violate you because you do not know. In Maxima law, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So you got to get on it, all right? So, and then all of that just to state that, and you would just use those the title as a way of stating what happened and how they violated your rights. Then you would look into Title 42, which is the relief efforts, and you would look at subsection 1983, all right? And if it's a credit issue, you would look at 200 BB 2000 BB little b, all right? And how you can enforce those things. Now, if they continue to do that, the first thing you do is you send out that complaint. You wait. You let the Department of Labor do their job. You're not supposed to do their job for them. You direct them what to do. An issue must be expressed to be resolved. So you are expressing it to the Department of Labor so that they may resolve the issue on your behalf. Now, if they cannot resolve the issue, that is when you file a notice of removal and you place it into a court that will recognize and respect your rights, all right? Now, if you're not, message. Now, if you're not familiar with what you can do, that is a notice of removal, and you could place it into an Article 3 court, which is, and also preserve your right to trial by jury, because this issue is in the amount over $20, which violates or which enforces Amendment 7 of the Bill of Rights, all right? This is the reason why we only deal with 1 through 7, because it's freedom of speech all the way to how to act in or preserve our rights to lawful remedy, all right, based on our understanding of the Bill of Rights. We use their codes. We're using their currency. You need to use their codes, all right, in order for you to get and enforce your remedy and relief, all right? And we'll continue to build on that. But I think in this short amount of time, I've given you more than enough for you to start getting, doing your research and seeking and managing your own affairs. Be an adult, not a minor. Don't think like a child. That is a minority, okay? Think like an adult. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice by night and by day. We give thanks. 2 on the left, on the right, 5 on the left. Islam.